Today, allow me to introduce Toastmaster Sean Esler as our table topics. Our table topics master runs a nonprofit to effect change in the community. Today's table topics draw inspiration from his big fundraiser coming up tomorrow, yes, just as I read. Get, great date, night, y'all, wink, wink. Please welcome the table topics master, director, the director for Be the Change today, Toastmaster Sean Esler.
All right, change is integral to everything we do. Integrity, right? Either or. All right, we're going to start off with Toastmaster Paul Asuma. What does empathy mean to you?
Empathy. Empathy is an integral part of everyone's life, or at least it should be. We want to feel for each other. We want to understand how everyone feels. So to have empathy for another person, it means that you know in your heart what they have in their heart. I think having empathy for other people makes you a better human. Knowing what other people are going through, feeling what they're feeling, even though you may not have felt it or gone through the same thing, having empathy for them makes you human, makes you real. Having empathy is an important part, a very integral part of being a real human being. Thank you.
Tell us about the cause that tugs at your heartstrings the most, Toastmaster Ken Gibson.
The cause that tugs at my heart is integral to every single person's existence. The cause of kindness. There is not enough kindness in the world for us to work together on every single level, no matter where we've come from or where our pastors brought us from. When you think of kindness as something that will wave in the waters as they flow, you touch every other human being whoever you come in contact with. I implore people wherever I encounter a need, a want, a desire. As a registered nurse, it's something that's integral to me again because care and kindness go hand in hand when I'm trying to reach somebody or just listen and act a role with them. If I have to again look for a cause, it would always be kindness day in and day out. Thank you, Toastmasters.
How can we effect real change in our community? DTM Mark Ehlers.
Morning.
Morning.
I think the best way to affect change in our community is to change yourself. And for me, it's actually quite a challenge because I've realized that at my age I've become pretty stuck in my ways. For example, I got up this morning and the first thing I do, of course, is go to the restroom. But after that, it's like I'm looking over there, my bed is sitting there unmade. So I make it. 30 years ago, I just let it sit there. But now I've become incredibly anal. So I'm hoping somehow I can revert back to my youth.
There you go.
Maybe grow a little more hair again. That's the integral part of my life. So thank you.
All right.
What talents or skills can you offer to a cause or to a nonprofit? Toastmaster Sean Tucker.
Thank you. The other ones were so much easier. And I don't really have a lot of skills I can offer to a nonprofit, I'll be honest with you, I just don't. I might be a little handy, I can fix things, that doesn't necessarily help a lot of people, but it helps some people. I'm very sarcastic, and I don't really see how that can help anyone. I will say that all this talk about change in the end of the year reminds me that we're in that season of the year where everybody starts giving their speeches on changes and goals and getting out of your comfort zone. And I'm just telling you right now, leave my comfort zone alone. I like it the way it is, and I don't want to move out of it.
All right, tell us about your last volunteer experience. DTM, Carmelo Ballard III.
Don't clap, I haven't said anything yet. It might not be worthy. This is Table Topics Master. Volunteer. Wow. It was a couple of Thanksgivings ago where downtown, my office went down, we served some food to a bunch of folks who were less than fortunate or hungry, and that was a good feeling. That was nice. You mentioned empathy earlier. You know, I think we all have intentions of being empathetic, of being kind to others. And sometimes we might have a veil put over our eyes that we can see through, but it prevents us from seeing past our own feelings. And we might become selfish with that empathy and have empathy on ourselves, more so than having empathy on others. And the thing there that we have to remember, in my opinion, is love. Love. Because if you love yourself, if you love others, and you just show love, you can be empathetic to everybody. And that's a service that's integral to volunteerism. And one more thing, the stick is integral to the drummer.
Choose where to focus your energy when there are so many good causes out there. Toastmaster Jeff Hood.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Would you repeat, please?
How do you choose where to focus your energy when there are so many good causes?
There are so many good causes, but I would have to say that I focus my energy on the little ones. Our children that we bring up to carry on the future are so vitally integral to our future. When we look at the world today and our children today, we say, wow, what has happened to some of them? And then we have to look at ourselves and how we perform ourselves throughout the day, because we're the ones who set the examples for our children. So anything that we can do for our children, for our youth, is so vitally important to our future and how things are going to go for the rest of our life.
Now, if our club could take on one cause or one thing to be the change in, what would it be? Toastmaster Marty McCree.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
I think if our club could take on one endeavor for the world, it would be that we spread the love of Jesus and we tell more people about Christ and what he does for all of us, because if you know him, you're going to be a better person, you're going to have core values, you're going to be an integral person in a community, and I believe that knowing our Savior and having that ultimate goal, which is eternal life, is the most important thing we should all be thinking about. And I start my morning every morning praying. I live on the lake and I get to watch the sun rise, and it's a beautiful endeavor of how Christ and me is an integral part, and I think all of us should share that with as many people so that our world can be a better place. Thank
Amen. Now tell us how you inspire others to get involved. Toastmaster Tim Taylor.
As a founder and a leader of a nonprofit myself, I've done speeches about this before. I started ministry in Africa. Met a young African guy there when I went on a trip and paid his way through college, and we're trying to build a school there, and lots of things are going on. If you just show people the results of how they can get involved, they inflame their hearts, and that's really how you get people involved. You know, this last week, we had to put my mother in assisted living. She is now married 2 husbands. She's 88, she's in a nursing home, and she is quite feisty. She calls my brother, who lives an hour away, and says, my blanket's not set right. And he said, Mom, all you have to do is press the button, and the people will come. She goes, well, I press it 25 times a day, and they don't come half the time. Because she presses it 25 times a day. And so it's quite an adjustment for her to get used to this. But an integral part of being successful is not losing your sense of humor. And she says, you know, living in a nursing home is like college. You have roommates, you have cafeteria food, and no one can remember what they did last night.
How would you design a day of service that really impacts your community? Toastmaster Laura Mendelson.
Hi everyone, good morning. Good morning. A day that I would design would be a day for epilepsy awareness. I am going to be hosting a party on March 26th of 2026 because that is 4 years from the day I had my first seizure. It will be my day to bring light into the world because I told my dad about it. He said, Lauren, it's an integral part of your party to find a cause for someone to come to. Like, why would someone come to Epilepsy Awareness Day, right? And I went online, I looked up, like, what's the national day? And it's National Epilepsy Awareness Day. So the day that I had my first seizure is the day of Epilepsy Awareness Day. So God knows that I'll do something with my story. So look out for March 26th of 2026. It'll be in this general area. Thank you.
Describe a volunteer experience that changed your perspective. Toastmaster Christopher Weston.
Hello, Toastmasters. Volunteer experience that changed my perspective. I spent a lot of time with a domestic violence organization that did a drive to get donations that would be put out in the thrift store. It was a super cool opportunity and experience. A lot of days standing in the cold, much like today. But I'm glad that we can all be together with warm coats, nice warm, and about shoulder to shoulder, cuddling like bears and coat. So, thank you.
What is one act of kindness that inspired you? Toastmaster Eugene Rotari.
Act of kindness. The kindness that inspired me? I was very empathetic with the chart that was kindly given to oversee, sorry. And I hope I will not overlook any of your payments at the end of it. And please stop by if you have not paid.
Now, tell us about a person who inspired you to care more about the world. Toastmaster Jeff Osborne.
He's on the
He's on here. Toastmaster Ward Brooke.
There are 2 people currently in my world that have inspired me the most. One is Michael, another one is David. These gentlemen are 83 years old, each of them, and they're tremendous artists. Now, what inspires me is that, you know, throughout our lives, we go through mile markers and look towards the distance. There are integral parts of our lives that we see. Times you get married, times you find that perfect job, that perfect person, and so forth. So retirement is a mile marker for me. And I've discovered art. Now, Michael and David are great artists in our local community at Castleberry Art House.
what I've noticed about them, David's an unusual draftsman who is a dumpster diver. So anytime he passes anybody's stuff on the road, he'll pick it up and bring it in every Friday to the Castleberry Art House and try to give it to us. But we don't want it because we've already had enough broken pieces from David. His wife's had enough. However, we love to go ahead and see what he's doing. He's always moving. Michael, a retired football coach of 40 years, goes to UCF Bounce House on the game nights. And just the energy and motivation that they show in their daily lives is an integral part of what I hope to do. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. What does that look like in practice? Toastmaster Damien Fanford.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
I didn't sign up for a table topic and try to hide in the back. It didn't work out. But from what I remember, I've been to a meeting in a while, but from what I remember, you could steal somebody's favorite topic. So I'm going to speak to a cause that really pulls on my heartstrings. For those of you that don't know, I'm really into sports and fitness, and I routinely volunteer at the Special Olympics. They have flag football, Sunshine Bowl in Tampa at the Raymond James Stadium once a year. Really fun, a lot of volunteer opportunities there. And then they also have powerlifting. So for the powerlifting events, they require weight changers, they require spotters, they require someone to keep scores. So that is an opportunity that I would like to extend to you guys, to the club. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll get you guys hooked up with the volunteer form. All right.
Balance personal success with community service. Toastmaster Becky McGill.
How do we balance personal success with
Community service.
Wow. Well, I like to think that right now I am doing a community service because I am actually serving District 84 as the program quality director. Volunteerism is true to the heart of anybody who serves in any position in the community, in Toastmasters, wherever it is that you're at. And the best way that you can actually help your community and still service yourself is to find that one thing that you're passionate about and really put your entire effort into it. This is my second time going through district leadership because I really value what Toastmasters can do for not just myself, but for everybody. Truly enjoy being an integral part of the Toastmasters organization.
Should our education system require community service for graduation? Toastmaster Regina Resende.
Yeah.
I understood graduation.
Should community service be required?
Sorry?
Should community service be required for graduation?
No. I think it's an option, right? If you want to do it, you do it. Right, Professor?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, no, community service is, well, maybe, yes. Idea. I think it's a good idea because then we clean up beaches. It's not only me carrying a bunch of stuff at the beach, bottles of water, right, that people throw, and yes, I think so.
What's the most fun that you've had serving others? Toastmaster Benjamin Urrutia.
Benjamin.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Distinguished guests. It is really important to serve the community. That is one of my extra activities. I'm a member of the Rotary Club, and I spearhead projects called global grants in foreign countries. I had one building a water project of a little town right next to the sea, and the water came in salty and all that. So a brand new technology was installed. Also, cleft lip and palate for boys that were born with that syndrome. That was also done buying the equipment to diagnose and treat. And also, there was another one for children, installing equipment and fixing or outfitting a bedroom, a room for them. So those are the activities that I do, extra, that give me a lot of satisfaction. Thank you.
Did all of our 10 companies qualify?
They qualified.
Okay, vote for 2, we'll take 2 minutes.